obviously we will.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, welcome to Lunch Break with ATI, Actors Theater of Indiana. I'm Meg Osborne. I'm the Marketing and the Development Director here at ATI. And today I'm really excited to introduce Ann O'Brien with the City of Carmel. She's one of the project managers. I work closely with her on events. But first, I want to remind everybody, I'm showing everybody Mr. Confidential. Today was supposed to be with Sam Bernstein and Don, but they are over at the Studio Theaters rehearsing to give you guys a great world premiere May 5th of Mr. Confidential, the musical. So tickets are going really fast. They're closing out on certain nights. So get your tickets and come see this. I have to say, Ann, in the City of Carmel, I know I've never been to a world premiere. Have you ever been to a world premiere? Bringing a world premiere to the City of Carmel was pretty cool. And I'm excited that ATI stepped out and is doing that, and one that's a comedy and a musical. I think it's just going to be fabulous. So
sounds awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. We've put a lot of hours and days into planning and preparing for it, and it'll be really exciting to have the show here in Carmel.
Wow, so much work behind the scenes that go into that.
It's amazing to me what these people do. I just stand there in awe of their ability, their talents, their ability, you know, their dedication, their commitment, their constantly, you know, preparing and memorizing lines. This show has 20 handwritten songs in it. So the actors and actresses have to learn all the lyrics, all the music, as long as all the dance, the choreography. It's just going to be fabulous.
Well, and I bet that will bring a certain type of energy to the show so that the audience can sort of feel, I think with any show, right, there's like all of that jitters or, you know, energy of like, oh, we're making this happen, but extra for that.
Extra. It's a world premiere. Never been seen before. On its way to Broadway here in Carmel.
So cool.
It's exciting, you know, and I sit back because I just do the marketing and the development, and I literally am in amaze of Dawn, Judy, and Cindy and all of their gifts and their talents and their abilities, and Jim Riley who mans the ship and makes sure everything goes well. It's a fabulous organization. So speaking of organizations, I'm going to have you today tell us about the City of Carmel and events, especially down on Main Street. You kind of oversee all those events. What's coming? Give them a little bit, because your past is really cool to me. And I know enough about it because, you know, we're friends, but I'm going to have you share with the audience how you got to where you are.
Sure.
First, then we'll tell them what's coming.
Okay. Start with the history first. Makes
Right.
sense. So I really kind of launched my career here in Carmel at the Center for the Performing Arts. So I actually studied at Butler in the arts administration and music area, and had worked with the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra. But then when I happened to just meet the right people at the right time when the center was about to be opened, I was able to be on the founding team and the marketing team there while we literally from the ground up created what the marketing and communications and some of the programming looked like. And so that was just an incredible experience. And I was able to stay there for about 6 years. And it was just really great as we watched all 3 of the different venues open and grow within the community. So that was sort of how I got involved initially with the community of Carmel. And so as life happens, I ended up having a couple babies, stepping back from work.
Darling babies, darling little girls.
They're sweet, and now they're 5 and 7. So they, you know, definitely keep me busy. But yeah, with that, I, you know, kind of stepped back from that role, sort of created my own types of things, did some freelance and contract work, produced my own events. Yes, I'm definitely working on that. It's a big passion of mine. And so through that, you know, working more with event planning and all of that, it kind of came full circle in that when I was sort of looking for a new opportunity, there was one here with the City of Carmel on the Community Relations and Economic Development Department, which actually is the department that hosts all of the hundreds of events and working in tandem, you know, like with you and other organizations that produce wonderful events in the city. So that to me was just a no-brainer of like, I want to be involved and get back in that world. And so, yeah, I was able to kind of join the team about a year and a half ago. And so I Yeah, and I'm a project manager, really managing like special projects, which kind of entail new things that pop up, and I can tell you about some of those, but also some things that have a really rich history, including the Arts and Design District, and many events that happen on Main Street. I also manage the ice at Carter Green, which we just wrapped up that season, but believe it or not, we're planning already for next year. Working on some other things like the eclipse that's coming in a year from now. So we're always working on things, but in the meantime, we have some great events coming up soon as well. Yeah.
Well, tell them, first of all, and it's one of my favorite events that's coming up May 20th.
Yes. Okay. This is Art of Wine. So we are so excited for this. This is an event that does have some history in that it is an annual event on Main Street. We close the roads and bring in loads of Indiana wineries that folks can purchase a ticket, which is essentially a tasting glass, and then unlimited tastings to sample and enjoy. But we have, unfortunately, a couple of years in the past where due to weather or COVID reasons, that we weren't able to have it. So we are extra excited that it's returning again this year, May 20th, from 5 to 10. And so this is just a really great time to enjoy being out in like the community and connect with friends, do people watching and enjoy live music. Also explore the arts galleries and businesses that are in the Arts and Design District. So a lot of the galleries will, maybe feature some of their artwork that might be wine related, or just encourage folks to kind of learn more about really what that area is as well. But yeah, we're just so thrilled. So have you attended?
Oh yeah,
many times before?
We love that event. And also what I think is so fabulous that the city does is art. ATI is art. It's visual art, it's performance art, but it's not limited to just that kind of art. And what I love about the city is they take art of wine, art of dog, art mobilia. They are able to tie so many really cool experiences into some level or style of art. And then you have artists that come in. I'll use Anna Offshy. She'll come to art mobilia and she'll do artwork of the cars, or she'll do artwork of wine, or or art of dog. It's just amazing to me how many, when you really look at the concept of art, how it can diversify across the spectrum in so many different ways and become a really incredible experience for our community.
It is. I love how you're mentioning all of that, because I think that there's something that's really deeply connected to all of us somehow when it comes to seeing the art of something, of anything, right? It's like almost like how, and it allows people to express their different perspectives, begin conversations, and really the whole reason why, as the City of Carmel, we produce all of these events is to get the community together. It's to really improve the quality of life of those that are living here, bring in visitors, help businesses, grow the economic development of the area, and it's doing just that. And I think the mayor had the right idea in saying like, oh, I think we do that through art, and see where we've gotten with that.
Like you look at Carmel International Arts Festival. It's 27 years old this year. So it's something that's been here for a very long time, but it's cultivated and grown into this massive 30,000 people come through, Carmel to buy art and to see art and to taste art of food, international foods, the music, the entertainment. And that's what I love. Porch Fest, another example of that, and the Late Night on Main. Those are down on Main Street, and a lot of your projects, and I just think it's just really fascinating to me that it's become such a destination for so many people.
It has, and the best way, since we really are putting on hundreds of events, to learn about that is to go to eventsincarmel.com. And so that will lay out all of the various events that we have on Main Street in the Arts and Design District, also in various
Other
locations, like at Midtown, where we're really excited now that May is right about here. We are doing live music on Monday evenings there at the stage, and then we'll be doing movies as well on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon and 6. And so families can come out and, you know, get to know each other. And then, yeah, we've got so many other things.
Well, the
coming up this
gazebo,
summer.
the Wednesday night gazebo, free, concerts.
Yes.
I mean, people start putting their chairs out a day in advance to be part of that, and it's all open to the public. It's free. That's one of the community development bases that is making us such a wonderful place to live and to be part of, and to be around you. I know, like, for example, they're going to be coming up in August, the first Carmel Jazz Fest, and from what I understand, all the way down the Monon, from basically Anthony's up to the gazebo. It's going to have jazz, and at the Palladium, Spyro Gyra. I don't know if you're old enough to remember them or not. I am. I am. But that's just, we've already got our tickets. Brad saw that and he got his tickets. But, and Feinstein's is going to have some, and the Carter Green. It's just going to be fascinating to see that of jazz. Jazz is a form of art, a form of music, so it's pretty fascinating to me what the city has done and over the last 20 years.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting that thinking of the Jazz Fest, that being a world premiere of sorts, in the sense that it'll be the first year that this is happening this year. And so I think that Carmel is a great place to really be supporting the new ideas and like the new arts forms and ways to celebrate that. And it's cool to see that that's happening so frequently
on so many different fronts. And I also love, like, I'm reflecting that back at Christmas when we had our sister cities do their Christmas trees in the gazebo, and each one was decorated according to their background and their legacies and their philosophy, and I thought that was beautiful. I mean, to drive around and see those trees and see each the difference, but to learn about their cultures through that was wonderful. And I know they had a wonderful time doing it. It was a very simple project, but fascinating, educational, and art, because it was beautiful. And it added to the beauty of Carmel at Christmas and the holidays.
Good. Well, and I love that there is like the learning component to that too, because I feel like that, intentional or not, through any art form, there is that learning and kind of like expanding of the mind. And so I love that. And, all of that to say that definitely happens, when you're enjoying wine as well.
Yes, that's right.
For the art of wine. And so one thing to mention too is that all the events that Carmel puts on are free. And so anyone can come and attend the art of wine, but if you want to participate and enjoy the wine, then you get the tasting glass. But it's a commemorative tasting glass that, I do have my collection from past years, and we'll have live music throughout the event, and then a live band sort of toward the end of the evening where folks went, walk down the road and find your glass and all of that, and then you end up at the stage, and it's just a really fun evening. And it's a great way also to pick up one of these, which is a 4-pager all about Carmel. And then if you go to events in Carmel.com, it'll list everything that we have. So other Midtown events, Farmers Market is about to start as well.
Excited about that.
There's lots of stuff. And then for those who may not be interested in wine, we also have Brews on the Boulevard, which is later in the summer, which is all about the craft beers.
Right.
And so it's great because even if you are not a fan of wine at the Art of Wine, there's beer available. Or at Brews on the Boulevard, there's also wine available. So it's really for everyone. It's welcoming.
Well, and you think about the Art of Wine or the brew. I mean, even the way people do their wine is an art. Or they brew their beers is an art. And no two brewery or no two vineyard do it the same way. They all have their own style. When I grew up, my farm town, there was a man and his brother, and they did wine in their back garage. And it was so funny to watch them. They did from the grapes up, and they, cultivated it, and they loved it. And I'm sure that wine back then doesn't taste anything like any of these wines. So this is a great opportunity for people to try different styles of wines and from different regions. I've heard of, wine that comes from this region or is different than wine that comes from that region.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
there's a lot of opportunity to learn and grow through wine, through beer.
Yes, yes, all of the culinary arts.
Yeah. Culinary, but and then you've even got, like, coming up this fall, you've got Chinese Mooncake Festival, which is a wonderful event and an educational event to see their dragon parade and to see all of their entertainers on stage in the most gorgeous clothing, bright colored clothing, doing dances and songs relevant to their culture. You've got that. You've got Carmel on Canvas, artists from all over the country coming into Carmel to paint.
Yeah.
I mean, just to paint, because it's so beautiful and our landscape is so gorgeous. And plein air painting is painting outdoors. It's more of flowers and settings and buildings rather than innate objects like a lot of artists do. So that's another.
That's one of my favorite events.
Mine too.
Can't wait.
Yes, I love that event. But I love the people who come to it, and it just they've come year after year. We have one gentleman who's an artist in Chicago, and he came as a judge and has come back every year. Just loves this event and loves Carmel. He'd never been here until he came as a judge. And he's actually, there's 3 or 4 people have already signed up that are friends of his from the Chicago region that are coming, that he has recommended it because Carmel is so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, and just I feel like there's such a great welcoming community here. Like those that live here, we should be proud of that. But also, like, for those that are visiting, I think that we are a welcoming community, and it's something where people want to return and get involved.
It's clean, it's safe, it's open, it's welcoming. It's just a wonderful place to do really neat and different things. So, well, Anne, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you were here with us today. And again, I have to remind everybody, Mr. Confidential opens May 5th at Studio Theater. You can get tickets by calling the Fifth Third box office at the CPA, 317-843-3800. Get your tickets. How many times have you been able to go to a world premiere opening? This is going to be really exciting for the city of Carmel. So I hope everyone can join us.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.